What up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and I am here today, you guys, with a weekly wrap up of Beyond the Gates. So this, I think, is week 21, you guys, and the episodes were 94 through 98. Now, before I go ahead and get into it, if you guys are watching this video or any other video on the channel and you guys aren't subscribed yet, then these guys will do me a solid favor and stop taking me out on this date and having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys know the routine. You can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, turning on your post notifications, you guys, and also by sharing the video. And with that out of the way, without further ado, let us go ahead and get into this week of Beyond the Gates, shall we? All right, you guys. So before I go ahead and get into it, you guys know that Really Be, myself, and Treese, we got together and we discussed last week's Beyond the Gates as well as this week's Beyond the Gates. So go check it out. We were on Really Be's platform. Go check it out. And that is all, you guys. So let's go ahead and talk about this week of Beyond the Gates. Now, this week, it was light compared to last week, what we got with the whole Martin of it all. So this week is just, the aftermath of everything that's happened. So we'll start up with Monday. Now, Monday, we saw Vernon. So, Vernon is still beating himself up about what happened with him and Martin and his actions after what happened with him and Martin, right? But Anita was trying to, just tell him, like, Vernon, what you did to protect Martin, and you were not wrong in what you did. And I absolutely agree with Anita. I don't think Vernon should beat himself up. So they also called Danny over to the house, right? So when Danny was actually with Andre at first, but then Danny got the call from, her parents to come over. They told Danny this whole situation with Martin as well as Vernon. Now, I will say Danny surprised me because Danny had because I was thinking once Danny found out that Bill was a part of this, I thought Danny was going to flip her lid and lose her shit, right? But she didn't. Danny was cool. She understood. And, so that's it with Danny. Now, Nicole, however, y'all know Nicole is upset. And I want to say this again, like I said on the live. I'm not upset with Nicole. I'm not upset with how Nicole feels. I get how Nicole feels, right? Nicole is upset. She just found out about Ted, Eva, and Leslie, right? So everything at this point is new revelations in her life. So rightfully so, she's upset. So she went to go see Ted because remember, Ted is the one that gave Kenny the plastic surgery. So she's going off on him and she's upset. I was like, if there was ever a chance for Nicole to come back to Ted, that is gone now because of this whole situation, right? Because she's upset like that everybody has kept these secrets from her husband, her mother, her father, and even her son, right? And, Ted's whole thing is it was just to protect all of them, which I understand that and I agree with that this was an effort to protect everyone. And like I said on the live would Really Be, and Treese just, yesterday, this is Sunday, I'm filming this. Like I said on the live with them, here's my thing. I agree that this was to protect them, and I also feel like this was to minimize how many people actually knew about this whole situation with Vernon and all this stuff. So I think that's something that was going on too, right? So she told him that he's ruined any chance of them getting back together. And I was like, yeah, Nicole, I kind of figured that part. So Jacob and Naomi. Here's my thing with Jacob. You guys know I do like Jacob. But Jacob is going to irk me and work my nerves. Number one, yes, I know Smitty came to Jacob to elicit help from Jacob. And okay, cool, fine. I'm not upset about that. But the problem that I'm having is when Jacob had a conversation with his daddy, Elon basically told him, like, stay out of this. This doesn't involve you. Like, let it go. Like Elsa. Especially this whole stuff with Kenny showing up. Sir, if you can't, your daddy obviously don't care. So if your father, the chief of police, don't give a fuck, that alone should tell you something right then and there that, okay, my daddy ain't trying to, rush on this and figure out what's really going on. And my dad is also going with what Marcel said. So 1 plus 1 should equals 2 in Jacob's book, which it is, but Jacob then is like, oh, it equals 2, but now I got to find out, that 2 plus 2 equals 4. That's what Jacob is doing, and it's becoming annoying. And even Naomi had to sit there and have a conversation with Jacob and basically tell Jacob, like, because he's talking about Martin, he's talking about Smitty, he's talking about Vernon, and, Naomi is like, but my grandfather would protect the family. And I'm like, exactly. And again, here's my thing, Jacob. You have this you have this visceral reaction when it comes to Marcel. Now, Marcel is a dirty cop, right? But your dad is right along with him. Now, I'm not saying that your dad is a dirty cop, but your daddy is right along with Marcel. He's in this just as deep as Marcel is. So I think if you uncover this, you're inadvertently gonna hurt your father. And I really honestly feel like if you do this and you find out what your daddy actually did, this could honestly hurt your relationship with your father. And do I think that's something that he wants? Not really. But yeah, that's really all we got for Tuesday. So we will go ahead and, not Tuesday, that was Monday. So now we'll talk about Tuesday. Now, Tuesday, we see Sharon on her wayward ass wig and Tracy are back, right? Here's the thing when it comes to Tracy and Sharon. I've said this numerous times about Tracy and Sharon, and I still stand on what I feel about Tracy and Sharon. When it comes down to Tracy and Sharon, yes, you two were wronged by the Anita Dupree or Anita Williams, right? My problem with both of them is it's like you two, more specifically you, Sharon, and your wig, you and your wig always got something up your ass and have this issue with Anita. So now they want to know why Anita ghosted them, because you two bats be coming for her. Like, one person can only take so much, and Anita has taken responsibility and accountability for her part in what happened when it came down to you, Dante, and y'all, Dante, in a group, right? She's taken ownership of that. But at the same time, you guys want to sit here and blame Anita, but Anita literally did the same thing that y'all did to Barbara. Barbara is the reason for the articulates. But when the articulates were to become a real big thing, Dante wanted to X out Barbara. So y'all X Barbara out, and y'all said fuck Barbara, even though Barbara wanted to say it was all Anita. Like, that's the problem with Barbara, Sharon and her wayward wig, and Tracy. The three of y'all helpers got it something up your ass where you just want to come for Anita and make everything Anita's problem. But again, now, if we want to say the original articulates and y'all breaking up, we can say that was on Sharon, Tracy, and Anita. And then the second breakup, yes, it is on Anita. But again, we're not going to sit here and just dogpile on Anita. And that is my problem when it comes to Sharon and Tracy, and more specifically, Sharon. Because Sharon is the more vocal one when it comes down to she and Tracy. Tracy just sits there and looks. And I'm like, Tracy, do you have a mind of your own? Do you, like, say how you feel, Tracy? Like, speak up. Use your voice. Don't let Sharon speak for you. And that's what gets on my nerves when it comes to Sharon and Tracy, right? Now, we see as also on Tuesday, we see as Chelsea is talking to Kat, right? So Chelsea and Kat are down at Worthy Jeans and they're having a conversation about this whole Allison situation. Let me say this loud and clear. Something's off with Allison. I don't know what it is with Allison, but there is definitely something off with that lady, right? So they having a conversation about Allison. Now, Kat got a text message from Ted to meet him, right? So she left. Now, when she left, in walks Allison. So Allison has this big, huge gash on her forehead. And I'm sitting here looking at Allison like, wait a minute, girl. Pump the brakes. Hard pump on them brakes. So you got a gash on your forehead. But your first thought was to go, let me go to Orphe Jeans? Okay. I don't know why. Maybe Orphe Jeans is on the way to the hospital. I'm gonna give her that, right? I'm gonna give her that. So she took her to the hospital, right? And Madison saw Chelsea with Allison, and I was like, ooh, do I detect a teensy weensy bit of jealousy coming from Madison? So now Allison is lying at first to say she tripped and fell on the sidewalk. So I'm assuming she was trying to say she tripped and fell on the way inside of Orphe Jeans. But then she had a conversation with Chelsea and said that Craig did it. And I was like, well, bitch, if Craig did it, what the fuck you go from your house to Orphe Jeans for? And she was like, because I knew you would be there. Ma'am, do you know that when you lose blood, you need to patch, you need to stitch up, patch up, so that way you don't continue to lose. Because the more that you lose, you could eventually, go to the great beyond. But okay, so that's that. Now, the text message that Kat got, right? Kat got a text message. She ran down there to meet her daddy. Turns out the text message wasn't from her dad. It was from her sister, Eva. Now, when she got there and Eva was talking about the accreditation, I was like, "Ooh, girl, you about to blow your big sister out of the water?" And she was like, "Nope, I'm not gonna blow my sister out of the water." She just told them that she called, got the fines waived and all that kind of stuff, and she got the accreditation back. I was like, "Okay, interesting," but not what I was expecting. So then we see later as Eva went down to Orphe Jeans, right? And she ran into Tomas's slimy ass. So they having a conversation about Kat. Kat, the thing with Tomas is he gets on my nerves because Tomas is talking about, I know how Kat is, she's this, she's that. Then if and especially some of the negative things that you're saying about Kat, if you know these things about Kat, then why are you pursuing a relationship with Kat, right? So then Tomas and Eva kissed each other. And I was like, you don't say. Now, you guys know I'm not an Eva fan, but what I will say is I don't want Eva nowhere near that slimy bastard. So then they left Orphe Jeans and they went to her hotel room. I was like, girl, don't do that. Don't do that. And then let's wrap up Tuesday with y'all's girl, Haley. So Haley showed Bill. Actually, Tomas was at the office. He brought Bill a file, and in it was a sonogram. So Haley has finally shown Bill the sonogram. Now, honestly, I think that Heifer bought a sonogram on social media. For she bought that sonogram from somewhere and portraying it as if it's her sonogram, right? Now, I don't remember which day it was, but she called somebody up on the phone. Now, we don't know who she called up, but eventually I feel like I know we're going to find out who she was on the phone with. Now, let this little lying-ass bitch tell it. She's 10 weeks pregnant. You's a motherfucking lie. You are a liar, Haley. A plumb liar. Now, let's go ahead and get into Wednesday. Now, Wednesday, we see as Danny was on the phone with Nicole. So while Nicole's on the phone with Danny, she's talking about this stuff with Martin, and in walks Kat. Now remember, at this point, the only people who know about what happened with Martin is the people that are involved: Ted, Anita, Vernon, Bill, Joey, Marcel, Elon, and now Danny and Nicole. So those are the only ones who know. The kids don't, and Smitty and Martin's kids know, right? But as far as the other grandkids, they don't know. So Nicole was gonna sit down and have a conversation with Kat about what's going on with Martin, but they were interrupted because Jacob came to the house. So what happened is crazy as Leslie, Dana, Anna, Lulu, and Sherry, all five of them, they literally went and filed a report against Nicole for what happened at Orphe Jeans, saying that Nicole attacked her. I was like, but you provoked her. And that's exactly what Nicole said to Jacob. And Nicole also told Jacob, like, Ted was there, so Ted can tell you whatever. Now, we do see as Jacob went over there to Ted's hotel room, right? Ted said he would give a statement, but he wasn't going to give a statement to Jacob, right? And he doesn't have to. So we also see as Nicole went to go talk to Leslie to, see these wounds, because let's talk about it real quick. Leslie's crazy ass went over to Ted's hotel room as well. Ted, I got a problem with you continuously letting this woman into your hotel room. Like, why? You literally at the door told her you would only let your daughters and your wife in. So why are you letting this crazy dingbat into your hotel room, Ted? Like, you are really getting on my nerves. Now, Leslie also let it slip that Kat was behind that accreditation not getting renewed. And then also, so when we see Nicole went over to Leslie's place, right? She wanted to see the scars. Because at Ted's hotel room, this heifer got a scarf around her neck. I said, bitch, it's the summer. It's hot as hell. Also, Beyond the Gates people, I need y'all to do something for me. Next summer, because we're wrapping up the summer, so I know and y'all have already filmed the episodes. Now, if y'all do take this idea, please give me credit for it. Please give me credit for it. Next summer, can we have our people outside of the country club? Like, y'all can give us a tennis court, y'all can give us the pool, y'all can give us a hot tub, jacuzzi, something. Give us something outdoors. Give us a gazebo. Give us a gazebo, give us a swimming pool, give us a tennis court, give us a pool. Did I say a gazebo, pool, tennis court, something outdoors? Something outdoors where we get to see them outside enjoying the summer. That's all I'm saying. Or so a pool, a jacuzzi, a gazebo, or an outdoor bar, like an outdoor bar and pool. Something. Give us something next season. That's it. So let's see. I talked about Nicole, Jacob, crazy lady. So yeah. So Allison, right? Now remember, I told you guys from Tuesday, Allison told Chelsea that it was Craig who popped her, right? Bop, bop, bing, bang, boom, bop, bop, boom, boom, went up beside her head, right? I don't know why I did all of that. But Allison told Chelsea it was Craig. So Chelsea is like, okay, well, my dad is an attorney. And she's like, no, I'm not going to do that. And I was like, ma'am, why are you so upset? She's literally trying to help you. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, it's like, so what is the end goal here, right? What is the purpose of you now telling her that it was Craig? And you didn't want to, first it was, and here's the thing, I know when it comes to bruised and battered women, I do know that women women will defend their abusers as long as they can. And, especially when they call the cops out, and when the cops get there, they typically say, oh, I ran into the wall, oh, I ran into something, when it was actually that person's fist. So I know that it happens, right? And so I'm not upset with her, but you obviously went to Chelsea for a reason. And honestly, I don't think the reason is I want to tell you that Ted is, not Ted, but Craig is doing this to me. It's I want you to have empathy or sympathy for me. You feel bad for me that my husband is, but here's the thing that I will say, Allison. So let's say she feels bad enough for you that she breaks up with Madison and she comes running back to you. Well, if Craig is this abusive asshole that you painted him out to be, then why would I not believe that he would be abusive once he finds out that you actually left him for the other woman? You know what I'm saying? But hey, let me know what you guys think about that, and we can go ahead and keep it pushing. So Tomas and Eve, after they talked about how they like to kiss with each other, right? They talked about Cat once again. It was getting on my nerves because Tomas is like, you playing Cat against Eva, and I saw it for what it was, right? Because you also then revealed to Eva that you and Cat haven't even had sex yet, and I was like, what was the purpose of you telling Eva this shit? You know Eva and Cat don't like each other. Eva would use, which I don't know if Eva, I don't know if I would believe Eva would use, well, yes, she could. So, remember, I told you that they left Orphe Jeans and went back to her hotel room. Things were a little awkward because she had a bra sitting out. I was like, oh, wow, y'all finna do it, ain't you? Well, they made out in her hotel room, and they almost got to the point of, boink, boink, boinking. And I was like, I knew it was gonna happen, but it didn't go all the way through, right? So now we move on to Thursday. Now, Thursday we see Martin. So Martin went to talk to Anita and Vernon, right? And he tells Anita and Vernon that he wants to sit down with Nicole and tell Nicole everything that happened. Everything, and I mean everything, right? The fact that, Kenny was taken out, and Kenny was taken out by Bill to, rectify this situation. Because he's saying that in order to get Smitty back, Smitty wants him to be 100% honest, and so that's what he's gonna do. Now we do see as Martin had a conversation with Nicole, and Nicole, she went over to Bill's place and confronted the hell out of Bill. Called Bill a M-U-R-D-E-R-E-R. She called him that word. I was like, ooh. And Haley was right there. And I was like, Haley, so you not going to sit here and be like, why you calling my husband a M-worder? But okay, she didn't question it. I was like, whatever. So Eva and Tomas, they got back to the hotel room, right? This is where it got hot and heavy. They kissing, taking each other's clothes off. But then Eva was like, skirt! You with Cat, and I don't want to be the side chick. I want to be the main character, which I get that, right? So while they getting it, while they stopped, then they started back up. Then there's a knock, knock, knock at the door, and go figure, it's Cat, right? Because Cat wanted to come over to talk to Eva about getting her crazy mama to leave her mama alone, right? So Eva was like, go hide in the bathroom. And Cat was like, I can hear you, Eva. I know you're in there. Open the damn door. So once again, Eva is telling Tomas, go hide in the bathroom. Tomas was like, no, I'm not gonna hide in the bathroom. I'm gonna stand right here. So Eva opened the door, and Cat saw him. I was like, Cat, girl, this is the clues. I just don't want to. I can't believe. I just don't want to believe that Cat likes Tomas that much. Now she did get pissed off and she did leave, and Eva saw his reaction to Cat leaving. I was like, I want both of y'all to leave this grimy, slimy toad the hell alone, right? So he eventually left but he told Eva, he was like, I still want to be a part of your story. So when he walked out, Eva said, the end. I was like, is it really the end, Eva? Is it going to be the end? Because I don't think it is, right? Now, we move on. So Jacob was met, Naomi down at Orphe Jeans. Now, before he got there, she met up with her wicked stepmother, Haley. So Haley wants to ask Naomi, like, girl, your Aunt Nicole came over to the house and she was calling Bill on a lifer, right? Do you think your dad did that? And I was like, how would she know? Like, she ain't, like, she's not close to her dad right now because of you. And Naomi kept telling her, like, Haley, if you want to know anything about my dad, first of all, that speaks volumes to your marriage right about now, that your husband hasn't talked to you about things that are going on outside of your marriage. So that might be a problem for you. But what you need to do is go ask your husband. Anything that you want to know about your husband, go ask your husband these burning questions that you have for me. So Haley left, right? Now, Jacob came. So Jacob told Naomi about the whole situation with Nicole and Leslie. And so he also let her know that the number that is on June's picture, he was able to trace it to an address. He has an address for the person that the number belongs to, right? Now, y'all know Really B's theory is that that picture, y'all know Really B's theory, as well as most of y'all's theory, is that June is Tyrell and Samantha's mother. And y'all know at one point I thought that, but I soon got off that train. Now, I'm not on the train that everybody else is. Like, I know there are two train of thoughts, right? People either think Haley is related to June or Samantha and Tyrell are related to June. I don't think it's either one. I don't think it's either of those situations. Because if you guys go back to last week's episodes, one of last week's episodes, when Naomi did call that number on that picture, the woman answered the phone and she said that her sister was deceased to her, right? So what I will say is I do think that June has some kind of, I think she has some memory loss, some amnesia, something, right? But again, I don't think that Haley is her sister, and I don't think that, I know at one point I think I may have said maybe June is Haley's mother. I don't think that either, right? I don't know what it is with June, but I don't think she's related to any of our characters that we know of right now. But hey, if I'm wrong, I will come back on here and say, hey, if it does come out that she is Samantha and Tyrell's mother, I will say, hey, y'all, I was wrong. She is definitely, I was wrong. But I am curious to see where we're going with June, right? Oh, God. This baby talk with Bill and Haley, it's just pathetic. I'm sick of it. I'm tired of it. Knowing damn well she ain't pregnant. So Haley is worried with Bill, right? Because Bill has still, even though they're married, Bill is still, kind of jumping to the whim of the Duprees. I was like, are you shocked? But okay, Haley, whatever. Moving on. Let's get on to Friday, you guys, and wrap up. So Friday, we see June. So June is out of the hospital. Now, June and Naomi are down at Orphy Jean's, and they were having lunch. And I was so confused. Oh, so excuse me. So I completely got ahead of myself. Friday is when Haley and Naomi had the conversation about the damn if Bill, unalived somebody, and the fact that Jacob told Naomi about the address. So I got ahead of myself by one day, but it is what it is, right? But June, I was so confused when excuse me, y'all. I was hella confused when June pulled out that Monopoly money to pay for that food. I said, girl, what the hell is this money? What is this money? But neither here nor there. Now, we see as Nicole and Danny, they had a conversation about Nicole laying into both Bill and what she did to Leslie, right? Now, they're at the country club. So Nicole met with the kids. Now, Samantha, however, wants for Nicole to talk to their dad about letting their pop come back home. And Nicole was like, that's a conversation for your dads to have, which I was like, absolutely. And, I don't think Smitty should just take Martin back so quickly. Now, I know a lot of people felt the way last week when Smitty kicked Martin out the house. Now, you guys, they are husbands. So that is marital property. So it's just as much Martin's house as it is Smitty's house. That is a marital asset for both of them. So Smitty had every right to kick Martin out. Again, like I said last week on the live with me and Treese, I'm not upset that he did it. He should have done it a long time ago because Martin's been playing in his face for a very long time. This show's been on since February. He's been playing in his face for months, right? Because Smitty asked him, babe, what's going on? What's going on? And Martin gives him absolutely nothing. And even to the point where your kids' lives were in danger, you still said nothing to your husband. Your dumbass son brought a stranger to your house. Your dumbass daughter had a conversation with this strange man in public. Like, what the fuck? So yeah, I don't blame Sweetie, right? Now, also Friday's episode. Oh, y'all, Friday's episode pissed me OFF because Kat was talking to Chelsea about Eva. Chelsea thought Eva that Kat was talking about, Ted having anything to do with Eva. She was like, no, I'm not talking about my dad. I'm talking about Tomas. And so she told her about seeing Tomas at Eva's hotel room. She said, she's like, God, no. She said, but I don't know if it was before or after. So she called Tomas up, right? And she said that they needed to talk. So Tomas came over. She asked him, what's going on between you and Eva? He straight up lied to her face and even gaslit her, right? Because he was like, I don't know where you and I stand. And I said, excuse the fuck out of me, sir. This girl is a fucking virgin. You knew she was a virgin. And a few weeks ago, she tried to have sex with you. You pumped the brakes on her. And I think you pumped the brakes on her because you realized you got a little thing for little Miss Eva, right? And child, Kat, why did you sleep with that man? And now I think you instantly regretted it. Because I regretted it the minute I saw you kissing him. And then to wrap it up, we see Danny. So Danny is at home with Pamela. Pamela is talking to Danny about some potential, two fashion houses that are interested in her. They do a little photo shoot. They did a photo shoot that Andre was there for. And that was this week on Beyond the Gates, you guys. So, great week with Beyond the Gates. Let me know what you guys thought about it in the comments. Subscribe to the channel, turn on your post notifications, and share the video, you guys. And until next time, do me a solid favor, guys. Stay safe, take care of yourselves, wash your hands, be blessed, and I will see you guys in the next video. Now, this week, Beyond the Gates will be back on my platform, so we will be live on Saturday at some time. The thing is, I gotta get back to watching Beyond the Gates during the week. So I don't know if I'm gonna watch it like during the day at 1 o'clock, or if I'm gonna wait until at night, later in the evening, and watch it. But whatever. Yeah, you guys. So that's it. Now, what I will say is I don't know. So this week, like I said, this week it will be on my platform. But the following week, I don't know how I'm gonna play it because the following weekend I'm gonna be in New Orleans, and that's gonna be a whole weekend thing because I fly out of Dallas on Friday, and I know we have some things planned for Saturday. I just gotta look at our itinerary and see what we have planned for Friday. So yeah, we're going on a swamp tour, and it starts at 9:40 in the morning. So I probably won't be. Probably the week of New Orleans, I probably will just do a pre-recorded video just like this one, and we'll leave it at that. But yeah, you guys, that's all I got. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, you guys. Turn on your post notifications, share the video, you guys. And until the next time, stay safe, you guys. Take care of yourselves. Wash your hands. Be blessed, and I'll see you guys in the next video.